It's a long stretch, and we're getting into the end of the season, and a lot of hard games and a lot of road games, and your body starts to kind of break down on you a little bit, but you have to get in the training room and get in the weight room, and get back ready and get ready to go.
How tough was that game for you guys to hear, and how did you deal with the loudness of it?
I mean, you can't hear your guard beside you, so it's more just knowing what to do and how to do it, and just knowing that and having being comfortable with the guy beside you and him knowing what to do without being able to say anything.
Because this is your first year playing center full time, did you have to take a different role than maybe in the past? What did you have to do kind of to deal with the fact that you kind of had to relay things to your guys?
I mean, it's the same thing as any road game. We've been in loud places, Tennessee, and everywhere else has been very loud, just like that. But I think LSU is just more consistent of being loud, and but it's just the same. Pointing and trying to communicate as best you can.
What was the mindset like in the huddle as the game progresses? It's still scoreless, and obviously once you get to the fourth, each possession becomes that much more important. Was there a heightened sense of urgency in the huddle?
I mean, we knew going into that game it was going to be a physical game. It was coming down to the last minute, and we were just pressing every play and trying to get into the end zone. And when it didn't happen, you just have to come to the side, regroup, and go back and try to get back in the end zone. And I think we did a very good job of that this past game.
Coach talked about how he wants you guys to avoid sort of a relief feeling of, we got through LSU with the win because you got a big game this weekend. How do you guys take that on as a challenge of huge favorites against Mississippi State coming off a big game, a physical game, but still getting focused on this?
I mean, every SEC game is a huge game. Every game in general is a huge game, and you just have to get back and get ready for the next game. Like Coach Saban always says, it's our 24-hour rule. You're happy with that win, 24 hours, and you get back on the road and you get started back. So
you've been on other Alabama teams, you've been on championship teams, but how is this team maybe different in terms of how you guys buy into the always stay focused, always stay locked in, always win your box when you play?
I think this team is really bought into that, and to being 1-0 for the week. We're not worried about past. We're not worried about the future. We're worried about this week and trying to get through this week with a win. So I think our team does a very good job with that.
When you have those turnovers, I guess, especially in a game like this, close game, competitive game, it seems like, maybe the first score could win the game. What do y'all do when you go to the sidelines, I guess? Who steps up the offense and sort of tells guys to, hey, let's stay focused, or keeps people up? Or does that happen?
I mean, everybody's just kind of on everybody else, trying to keep them up and trying to keep everyone going. And, the coaches and the players and everyone is just trying to keep everybody focused and trying to get us, to do what we need to do to execute. I was waiting for you to say something.
You guys always preach 24-hour rule, but after a game like that, in that kind of an environment where it's so physical, comes down to the fourth quarter, is it a little bit easier to maybe just ease up ever so slightly after a game like that?
No, because we know we still got more football to play. I mean, a great win like that on the road against a great opponent, maybe one of the toughest opponents we'll face all year, especially in that kind of environment. It's obviously a great win that we love to have, and it's a confidence builder as a team. Knowing that we can play in a game 0-0 until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter and still be able to come out and win and execute in the fourth quarter, come out with a win. But like I said, we know we still have a lot of football left to play. We're playing a great team this weekend, and so we can't really live off the hype too much. That's why Coach Saban has the whole 24-hour rule. But like I said, we just got to stay focused for the rest of the year, and we know we still got a lot of football to play. We got a lot of mistakes that we need to correct from this game, and we're going to look to do that this weekend.
Damien, you're only a sophomore, but you got freshman quarterback, other freshmen on the offense. Have you had to take more of a leadership role than maybe you would have anticipated as a sophomore?
It's a tough question. Not really. I mean, I knew coming into this year, regardless of the circumstances, I needed to become more of a leader, not just for any other purpose other than trying to contribute to this team. And I knew that was something I needed to work on, not just being a vocal leader, but also being a leader on the field. being a guy that could be dependent on in certain situations in the game. So, I mean, I kind of knew that I needed to take that to a new level this year, and it's something I'm still working on every day. So it's just something I need to continue to improve on.
You guys and LSU have not played a game like that this year where points were that hard to come by for the offenses. As the game's progressing, what's the mindset for you guys? Do people start pressing just a little bit, or is it kind of even keel as you guys make your way through that game?
Well, in a game like that, I mean, points are hard to come by, yards are hard to come by. You got two great teams that are fundamentally sound on offense, defense, special teams, all phases of the game. So in a game like that, you try to stay focused. We knew that we missed some plays we weren't executing as well as maybe we should have, and we made a lot of mistakes that we need to get corrected. But for the most part, you got to stay pretty even-keeled and stay confident in the fact that if we keep doing the little things right, we'll start to make those big plays and we'll start to hit those home runs and we'll start to put points on the board and gain yards. So, we're just on the sideline. We just tried to, keep focused, not focus more on the mistakes that we made, but just next drive mentality, knowing the next time we went on the field, we want to correct those mistakes and start to play better.
I'm sure during the game you're focused on what you got to do, but now it's been a couple days, just in terms of what your defense was able to do, pitching a shutout against top 15 team in the country. Have you had a chance to think about that? What are your thoughts?
I mean, no, I haven't. I honestly haven't thought about this until you mentioned it, but I mean, our defense has done an incredible job all year. I mean, they're shutting out teams that are good at putting up points, getting yards. I mean, great teams like LSU, I mean, they got a great run game, and to pitch a shutout against those guys, I mean, that's truly unbelievable what they do week in and week out. They definitely make things easier on the offense. Sometimes when things aren't clicking, we can really rely on them to kind of hold the game for us as we try to figure out those mistakes, try to get things going on offense, so they make things a lot smoother for us.
Particularly when you have an offense. I mean, and you guys have excelled this season, but when you have a lot of young players, a lot of new faces, how much of a luxury is that to have a defense that is able to shut out teams like they have?
It's huge. I mean, for us, if we can't put points on the board, like in a game like that, it's good to have a defense that we know that can hold the other team from scoring points. I mean, even though we're not scoring points, we don't want to get down 7-0, 14-0. We don't want to get in situations like that. So it's a huge part of our team to have guys like that we know we can depend on to kind of keep the game steady, keep us in a position where we can come out, put points on the board and score, and hopefully win the game.
Do another one or two questions for Damien.
We had a couple former players on Twitter saying, run the ball. Did you hear about that? What's your reaction?
It's not my call to make.
Anything else for Damien?
Defense got player of the week. Just how good is this defense? Is it like one of the best ever?
It'd be hard. I don't know best ever. I know we're pretty good. We all just try to do our job. I thought it was pretty cool for all of us to get that award. So I think that's just a thing to accomplish with how hard we work and how every week we just try to get better and better.
If the streak of scoring non-offensive touchdowns is going to end, does it make it a little better that it's a shutout? That you guys get the shutout?
Yeah, I think so. I was wondering when that streak was going to end. I was hoping it never did, but I guess it's okay to let it end when we get a goose egg on the other team.
Is that the ultimate goal? I mean, would you rather have, get a defensive touchdown or get the shutout? I know both is the answer, but
both is pretty good, but it's always fun to see John scoring in the end zone or any of those guys. So I guess the goose egg's pretty good too, though.
Coach Saban mentioned he likes for his defenders to be hateful guys. Do you consider yourself a hateful guy? On the field anyway?
On the field, I try to be a little hateful, I guess. I know that front seven is very hateful. I usually just try to hold my own back there, but yeah, Coach, I think that front seven definitely some hateful guys for sure.
What kind of challenges do you see from Nick Fitzgerald? Coach was giving him some praise about doing, stuff with his legs and his arm, obviously.
Yeah, I think he's a lot sneakier of a runner than you would expect. I know he's definitely got some tools with his running ability. I know Fred Ross is one of the best in the country at what he does. So I think we're going to have to contain him running and Fred Ross with the ball in his hands also.
Marlon, there should be a hangover, right, with State beating A&M. That gets your attention immediately, right?
It definitely does. I know with them doing that, they're definitely feeling pretty good, knowing that things are starting to click for them. I was a little surprised to see that score, but it's just you really can't ever relax in the SEC. I feel like so. With them getting that win, I know they're taking a lot of momentum coming into Bryant-Denny Saturday.
In a way, was that a good thing for you guys? I mean, I know that you guys give respect to every opponent, but was that kind of a good thing as far as the focus this week in practice?
I definitely think so. I know Mississippi State hasn't been talked about much, but when you look at a lot of their games, I feel like they've lost a lot by very small margins. So for them to beat Texas A&M, I think is definitely a positive thing, just to make sure we don't relax or let up.
With some of the changes and guys in different positions in the secondary this week, how was the communication on the field? How did you think some of those guys learning new positions, I guess, did in the game?
I think we did pretty good. I think it was pretty tremendous compliment of Minka to be able to move to safety and not really miss a beat. I think communication was very well. I don't think we really had very many mental errors. So with all those guys mixing around, Tony in there at star, so they haven't really been getting as many reps this year. I think it was really good that how the secondary handled it all.
What have you seen from Anthony Abraham this season? How's he progressed?
He's a great corner. I think first game he had some pregame first game jitters, but now he's just holding it down over there. So I think me and him are just slowly getting better and better every week, and he's definitely impressing me out there in his position.
Touchdown streak's going to end. Does it help that it's with the shutout?
Yeah, I guess so.
Is it? I mean, would you rather you guys get in the end zone, or would you rather get the shutout? I mean, I know that the answer's both, but is there something you like?
A shutout.
Shutout. Seeing that goose egg on the board.
I know as a defense, you guys are your own toughest critic, but how would you assess that performance this past week? I mean, was that the best defensive performance this season?
Yeah, so far.
Is this one of the better or best defenses Alabama's had?
That's not for me to say. That's for y'all. That's the kind of stuff y'all talk about.
Coach Saban mentioned he likes his defenders to be hateful guys. You consider yourself a hateful guy on the field?
Yeah.
You kind of describe what that means, I guess, difference on the field and off the field, the mentality.
I hate everybody on the other team.
You get an individual award, and I know it is obviously a team sport, but is it nice to at least see your name to get recognized for your effort?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Ryan, you've been on other Alabama teams before. You've been on championship-winning teams before. This group seems to have bought in so much to constantly stay focused, no matter what. How do you rate that or compare that relative to the other teams that you've been on here in the past?
I would say this team is the best team that I've been on. And that little matter right there. Like just blocking all the outside stuff out, not listening to how good people think we are, and everybody just show up to work every week. We put the past in the past, and we just all focus on being 1-0 the next week. So that's really good.
Why do you think that is? Why is this team, do you think, been better at that than maybe some other years?
Because I feel like we got a whole bunch of guys on this team that's been on other teams, and that's been on teams that's really sold themselves short on defenses. That sold themselves short, and we really want to see how good we can be.
Coach Saban had a lot of high things to say about their quarterback, Fitzgerald, and I know you guys probably haven't seen film yet, but just what you know about him, what kind of challenges
he can run. I've seen him play a few times. He's a dual threat guy. He can run, and he got a good arm too. He got some good receivers, so we're going to go in there and we're going to play. This is a tough league, man. The SEC is a tough league. Any given week, anybody can be beat. Like, those rankings don't matter. So we wanted to get ready, like I said, refocus our energy on this week and go play.
Couple more. I know you guys give every team respect week to week, but was Mississippi State beating A&M kind of a good thing for you guys going into practice this week?
That ain't got nothing to do with us, them beating A&M.
Just in terms of, like I said, I know you guys respect every opponent, but does that just kind of reinforce the notion, like you just said, any week, anyone in this league can be beat?
Yeah, in that sense. I got what you're saying, yeah.
Ryan, you know, I guess, how have you seen your own game improve this year? Obviously, that was something you came back, you wanted to improve in some areas. What are some of those improvements that you've seen, and have you had any personal, goals for this season that you've already accomplished?
All my goals are team oriented. Everything. If I play good, we play good as a team, and we can reach the ultimate goal, which is winning the national championship. That's my only goal right now.
Thanks, Ron.